Hey there, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report, but sorry guys, this game actually came from a week ago, but I've been on vacation off to beautiful British Columbia, and yeah, sorry I came back, and time to get some battle reports in. Alright, so the first game here is, the game is kind of weird here actually, where it's not a straight up game. It's going to be a meeting engagement, but it's scored in three different ways. First of all, there's a main objective you're trying to meet, then there's secondary points where you get them for breaking fortitude, actually winning the game, getting a massacre, and finally holding objectives. Now, the main goal of this first game is actually just kill all characters. If you kill all enemy characters, you win. If you don't, you lose. Pretty simple. And the thing that's going to be kind of crazy good and crazy bad about this first game is this awesome slan conversion here, where basically you took a slan, took the mold of it, remade it with resin, put a light inside, and this guy just looks so cool, but he's an ethereal slan. And killing ethereal slans, that's an issue. Otherwise, the stuff he doesn't have starting on is going to be one Skink Priest and also the Chameleon special character. For my part, this sucked. I had both Doom Divers starting in reserve and my Black Orcs. Now, the Black Orcs not starting, that was okay. I could work around it. But against Skinks, you really want those Doom Divers. So his army, not only looking very awesome and converted, it was also very different from what you normally see. So also look at the cool movement trays he has, but on the left side, he has 6 of the Cold One Riders. Then he has a big Scrox unit with 5 Croxagores. Bastiladon, you have that Ethereal Slan in the back. Over here, 4 Salamanders. Like I asked him, like, is this really 2 groups of 2? Oh, no, it's a group of 4. So these guys, you know, if I can get on them, I can knock them all out in one go. But, yeah, they're a little bit tougher of a nut to crack as well. Otherwise, he's also going to have some more skinks over here. And finally on this flank, he's going to have some chameleons. You know, I did my best to try and cover all my angles. I was pretty sure he's going to come over here. That's why the mangler and stuff. But, yeah, there he is. Otherwise, for those who don't know what my list is, I have, of course, also the Savage Orc Biggins. I have my level 4 Savage Orc Shaman. There's the Night Goblin BSB, 4 other Night Goblin heroes. One has the Fencer Blades and the 2+ ward against Flaming. The other ones are great weapons. I have then, of course, the Night Goblin Spears, Night Goblin Bows, 2 Rock Labas, and a Mangler, and also the Wolf Riders. Now, looking at this game here, the biggest thing I need to do is normally, in meeting engagement, I am right up at the front. I want to get in the fight. But in this part here, I really have to be careful. I did not want to get a skink starting behind me. So I'm going to start farther back, hopefully shoot down some of his stuff, deal with his skinks, and go from there. And luckily, I get some luck going my way, and I roll a 6 and I steal the first turn. So that was much appreciated. What wasn't appreciated was rolling a 1 and having no magic phase. So otherwise, really all I get done in this turn is I bring on my Doom Divers, bring over the Black Orcs over on the left side so they can deal with the cold ones and all that stuff, and having to buy myself some time. So the Mangler just walks around, the Wolf Riders zip up just to buy me a turn against the Chameleons. I decide actually, you know, the Bastiladon is a great target for those Rock Labas, but I decided to go for the Salamanders because for every one I kill, it's going to help me so much. Plus, I can cause panic tests, but unfortunately, both scatter. On his turn, both his characters come on, and yeah, I mean, that's also going to slow up his chameleons a little bit waiting as well. But again, remember, you are trying to kill all of the characters, so it's actually pretty nice that these guys are out here, because I could kill them off if I wanted to with the Doom Divers. Otherwise, he shoots with the chameleons, kills all the wolves. And then the board looks like this. So he's trying to do some death magic stuff, but he's pretty much too far away. Only does a Bastiladon shot that kills like 1 Black Orc or something like that. But for the most part, yeah, that impassable terrain in the middle is causing him some issues. And I'm not feeling too bad. So on my turn, I decide to fail Animosity again because, magic's for suckers. And then otherwise, I decide it's time to push up a little bit. So the Black Orcs and Savages, they're moving up on the center. I really need to break that to get to the slan. I mean, that's the thing. Normally, if I was facing this, I would just castle up, shoot down, and win on points. But here, if I don't kill those characters, I lose. So I have to be more aggressive. Now, the hard thing was what to shoot with my war machines. The Mangler goes over because I couldn't get to him, so I'm just trying to hide in the woods, get a better cover save so I can come back. But for the rock lavas, you know, they're probably not going to hit the characters. I could go for the Bastillodon, but those salamanders are also a huge issue. So I shoot one at each, both scatter, whatever. The Doom Divers, you know I could go for the characters and try and kill them, but at the end of the day, the real thing is going to help me is if I can shoot more at other stuff. So I decided to shoot them at the Skinks and the Chameleons. Hit both, kill some from both. Chameleons pass their leadership, Skinks run. So, you know, I was kind of hoping that they'd kind of both break, and even more so, I hope that the left Skinks would run far enough that they'd also panic the Skink Priest, but meh, that's what happens sometimes. Otherwise, on his turn, he decides to Soul Blight my Savages. And that could have been really deadly from the Salamanders, but he'd actually already positioned them more on the side because he's trying to get the Night Goblins. He kills a good number of them. I pass my panic test. And yeah, otherwise, he rallies with his Skinks and doesn't really get too much else done. You know, another Bastillodon shot does some things, but for the most part, I'm feeling like I'm in a very strong position. So on my turn, he had actually thrown up this one Skink Priest that was in this unit just to try and throw out the Purple Sun, but unfortunately for him, he either failed to cast or I dispelled it. And now this is the definition as overkill as I swarm him, but the whole point of it is that I'm going to then after overrun into this Grox unit. Over here, I'm also looking for a nifty overrun, and I'm just going to, because of the terrain, I could only touch one Salamander, and if I can beat these guys, which I should, then all of a sudden I'll run down all those points and go into the Skink unit. Over here, I hit the Cold One Riders with a Doom Diver, kill 5, last one's taken off. A Rock kills the Bastillodon. And then otherwise here, yeah, this didn't really work out the way I thought, because even though I'm only fighting one Salamander, I'm still fighting against all the handlers. And of course, it didn't help that I actually failed my fear test, and so they're hitting me on 3s and stuff. But yeah, I believe here he actually wins combat, slides over. I was steadfast and held, but wow, this was supposed to be an easy fight, and it's not looking so good anymore. Otherwise, it looks like this. So, of course, I killed the Skink Priest. Was going to overrun there and get into him, but I did not go far enough. The Black Orcs were supposed to block the Cold Ones, but hey, they got destroyed and ran away, so that's all good news. The Bastillodon I thought was going to hit me in the flank is also gone, so that's good news. And overall, even though I didn't really do anything with my magic phase this turn because I was kind of out of range and he stopped my Foot of Gork, I'm feeling pretty good. So on his turn, he decides to charge in here, which I think was a mistake because he could just hold off this combat that really isn't in his favor and then just shoot at me, but hey, I'll take it. This guy rallies on double ones because he's a jerk. And otherwise, he goes for the Purple Sun. I'm just ready to say Dispel Scroll, but he gets double 6s. And it's only lucky for me that it only goes far enough to get these Savages. But wow, this fight just really changed. Over here, he goes for a Spirit Leech, and you know, this is exactly why I took, for the first time ever, a Magic Resistance 3 on my character, so that with my ward, it's a 3+ ward, and I failed the 3+ ward on the 1 wound, so meh, what are you going to do? Otherwise, crappy picture here, but I actually win combat. He kills a couple of Savages with his Skinks, I direct all my attacks on the Croxagores, and I actually managed to win. Over here, yeah, now that he has all these guys, I was out of range from my test. I failed fear again, and he beat and broke me, and at least I got away, but this is really, really bad, having these Salamanders in this position. Otherwise, this is what the board looks like. So still haven't finished dealing with these chameleons and stuff on the right. They're just keep on passing their leaderships and stuff. And yeah, I'm getting a little bit worried here. So on my turn, the Black Orcs charge in, and this will be an easy win. Over here, I know this is dumb, but I had no choice. Now, the way this was lined up is I could only get in contact with the level 4. But the real thing is here is that if I didn't do this, he would just skirt over with the salamanders and flame both these units and just decimate me, right? Basically, I just lose all this stuff. So my only hope was to charge in here, hope that my level 4 can tank it, because hey, he's toughness 5, and then hope all my combat res will break him. Otherwise, over here, I was able to shoot the chameleons. They still didn't break because they're jerks. I killed the hiding skink priest in the building, and then the skinks broke, so that was nice. Otherwise, over here, yeah, I killed all these guys, and the savages overrun into the slan, and I really need them to break. Over here, it was really actually a kind of weird situation, and one that I haven't dealt with before, where actually his skinks go first, and they kill my level 4. And this is something where, I mean, they kind of rolled better than average, blah, blah, blah. But what it really came down to is, well, what do we do now? What do we do? Do we slide over? Do we do what? But we brought over the TO, and he said, nope, you leave it as is, you resolve the combat, and then you would slide. And the way it works is, of course, I have a charge, 3 ranks, 2 banners. He did 2 wounds, so I'm going to win by quite a bit. So he's going to break. Unfortunately, I did not catch him. But again, it looks like, you know, I had to sacrifice my level 4 and my general, but it's looking okay again. Crappy picture, but basically all that happens here is his salamanders rally, the skinks rally, and the chameleons go and do a wound to a war machine. Otherwise, I beat the slan by 1, and he fails by 1, I believe. And the main thing that happens here is that he actually crumbles. He is unbreakable, and so instead of actually breaking, being ran down, I am only doing 1 wound. And that's horrendous. And whereas I'd love to charge in the Black Orcs and getting all that combat res, the savages are actually blocking them. Otherwise, over here, I'm going to charge again, and hopefully with all my bosses all fighting to their full effect, I can really beat these guys up. And I do. I beat up. I killed 2 of them. They break. Again, I can't catch the guys, but the main thing is that they break, and they're going to be leaving me alone the rest of the game. Otherwise, this is what it looks like. I beat the slan again, and you can see over here that he's leaning over because he actually shows me his flank because he says, what do I care, right? The Black Orcs have turned around because, remember, you get points for holding terrain with units with fortitude. He's going to try and death magic me, and for the most part, what does he care, right? If he loses a wound or 2, meh. He goes for the purple sun, but he just goes like 2 inches or something really small and doesn't get to me. And overall, it looks like this. So he's destroyed the 1 war machine. The salamanders have rallied. Again, I just can't get all those points. And that slan, again, just won't break. There's the stupid 1 skink, and he's doing sometimes 1 wound to me, which undoes the flank. So I just want that guy to die. So otherwise here, the Black Orcs coming over, I go into the building, I'm spreading out the whole terrain. He destroys another piece of terrain, or sorry, another war machine. And then the game ends like this. So stupid Ninja Skink kills another Savage Orc. And really what it comes down to is that when you look at it for the main objective, we both lost because I couldn't kill his ethereal slan and I failed to kill his special character chameleon because I just kept on missing or he would not flee. And then he didn't kill all my heroes. So we both lose that way. That kind of sucks. But otherwise, I did break his fortitude. He did not break mine, so I'm up there. When we did up the victory points, it was actually a tie. So, you know, I was hoping I would be ahead, but losing your level 4 kind of hurts those hopes. So nobody gets points for that. I held more terrain than him. So really, when you look over it, it was kind of weird for scoring. Because for the main objective, I lose. For victory points, I tie. But for the actual way the tournament was set up, I won the match. So it's a little bit weird. And I mean, for the whole goal I have to win more than I lose, I'm not really sure which one is the best one to go with. But there you go. I really am sure that when they made up this scenario, they weren't planning on stuff like the ethereal slam, just basically cock blocking you and saying, you don't win. But yeah, just something you got to prepare for. And we knew it was before, so I guess maybe I could have had more magic weapons or being something more, a little bit more dedicated. But yeah, there you go. Hope you guys like watching it. Bye.